I am on location in Curacao, and I would be recording somewhere much more representative of where I am if it weren't super windy out. And then if I weren't in an interior space, there'd be lots of pumped in music that, I don't know, I'd have to edit out or talk over. In any case, it would be suboptimal. Gaming related from my trip. And I don't know if you're like me, where you always tend to think about gaming stuff when you're on trips. In any case, went snorkeling the other day, and we passed by a location that featured a deep sea drilling rig being serviced right near to what looked like a 19th century fortification. And it was just made for a really cool juxtaposition of the old being the old fortification, and then the new being this deep sea drilling rig. And then today, the hotel that we're staying at, me and my family, it's right next to a fort, also either an 18th or 19th century fort that's been converted into shops and restaurants and kind of turned into a tourist attraction. And this got me thinking about kind of old and new. So here in Curacao, we have this great juxtaposition of stuff that's old and then stuff that is very new. And it made me think about, in our games, can we use this concept, something very simple? Because one of the things I think that can trip up is you want to get into your story, you want to build out a lot of world building, but that world building can be very time intensive, can use up a lot of your creativity, and then it doesn't necessarily pan out in the game. And it ends up being one of those traps where you, as the GM, you create a bunch of stuff, you either feel disappointed that they're not interacting with this lore, or in some way unfulfilled, because you wrote all this stuff down and now it's not coming to anything. But what if, as a shorthand, you just simply marked off some things in a particular location that are old and some stuff that's new? And that tells you something about the location. It tells us something about Curacao when we look at what it was at some point, which had more of at least a military or defensive aspect to it. And then now where it's relegated to kind of tourist locations, or it just happens to be there. I don't know if you can visit that one fortification that's by the rigs, or if it just happens to be there. It's just there. And then you have that shorthand that you can then pass to your players saying, look, this thing looks really old, but now next to it or on top of it, or it's been converted into something new. And if that's all it ends up being, that's all it is. But then if it does create interest, or it becomes part of some things that are happening in the world, then you can delve into it.